So the melodies I was just playing at the top of this video were all constructed using diatonic arpeggiated triads. That sounds complicated. No, it's not complicated at all. I'm going to show you how easy it actually is. Using diatonic triads in our solos. That's what we're doing today on Ray Plays Guitar. I'm going to make it as simple as possible. Let's get into it. Diatonic triads, what are they? Well, we're just basically going to take a major scale and build chords from each note of the major scale. The track I was playing over uses these two chords, A7 and D9. Over the A chord, it actually kind of throws in a little 9 over here and a 13. At the end of the D9, it goes up to an E7 or an E9. And that sets you up to go back to... So those are the chords. And these chords put us into like an A Dorian kind of a tonality here. The parent key of A Dorian is just G major. So A Dorian and G major share all the same notes. We're going to build chords off of each note of the G major scale. And we're going to be playing these triads two different ways. So I'm just going to play the notes of the G major scale on this second string. Here's our root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're back at the root. Of course, I can go down from this. From this first note, G, we're going to make a major triad. And that shape looks like this. We're going to put a root here. This next note is called a third. And this note is called a fifth. And there's our first triad. There's a G major triad. Let's go to the second note of a major scale. From here, we're going to make a minor triad. And that looks like this. From here, we have a root. This is called a flatted third or a minor third. And then we have a fifth. We're going to go to the third note of a G major scale. That's on the 12th fret here, note B. We're going to do another minor triad. Now we're going to move up a half step, going up to C on the 13th fret. We're going to do a major triad. That was the very first shape we played. Now we're going to go up a whole step and do another major. Now we're going to go up a whole step and do a minor. Now we're going to go up a whole step and do what's called a diminished triad. This looks like this. Flatted third and then another minor third up there. And if we go up another half step, that brings us back to G and we could do another major triad here. Oops. So, G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and then we have G major. Now we move in the other direction. G major, we go down a half step and do a diminished, go down another whole step, and do a minor. Here we have a major from D, and then we run out of room there. But that's how we would play diatonic triads on those two strings. So if we build chords off of each note of the major scale, it always winds up being major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Those are the chord qualities on those scale degrees. 1 is major, 2 and 3 are minor, 4 and 5 are major, 6 is minor, and then 7 is diminished. Always. Now the other way we're going to be playing the triads is on 3 different strings. And here we're going to put the root on the 3rd string. So here we have a G on the 12th fret. So a major triad from this note looks like this. Root, 3rd, and a 5th. If we move up a whole step, we would do a minor triad. You have another minor triad. 4th is a major, major, minor, running out of space. So I'm going to go down here. This is a diminished. Like that. In the first phrase of the song, I forgot how it goes. We start off by outlining, it's basically an A minor triad, but we're going to start on this note G and go up to this note G here. So I'm starting on the 12th fret 3rd string, and then 14 to 3, and then doing this minor triad shape, 14 to 3, 13 to 2, 12 of 1, and then 15 of 1. First note's a pickup note. Downbeat happens on this note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... From here, we're going to play these 2 notes. And it's part of this B minor triad, but we're just going to play these 2 notes, 14 to 1, 15 to 2. Then, we're going to play a series of triads. A minor, G major, F sharp diminished, E minor. But we're playing them 5, 3, 1. We're kind of playing them backwards. Then we're going to slide up a whole step, then hold that note and grab the 8th fret of the 2nd string, and then go back to the 3rd string. You're going to let those notes ring out over each other. They're minor seconds apart. You get sort of that dissonance happening, which sounds really cool. Then I do this little fill. Here I'm playing a C, 8th fret 1, and B, 12th fret 2nd string. Letting those 2 hang out over each other, and then playing these 2 notes. A, 10 of 2, G, 12 of 3. So that's what happens over the A minor chord. When it goes to the D9, we're playing this. So this part uses these other arpeggic shapes, starting with this A minor. We start off sliding up to the 10th fret, play the flatted 3rd on the downbeat, come back to the root, then the 5th, then the flatted 3rd, then the root again. Then we're going to go up to the 13th fret of the 2nd string and play a C major triad. In the same way, I'm going to play the 3rd, and then the root, and then the 5th, 3rd, root. Then, going up to the 17th fret of the 2nd string, we're going to do a minor triad, this E minor triad. going to do a series of descending triads, all 5-3-1. So after we do this E minor triad, we're going to go D major, then C major, then B minor, then A minor, then G major. Then we kind of start the same thing again. But here, when we go up to the E minor position on the 17th fret, we're going to immediately go 5, flat 3, 1. Then D major, then C major, and sliding up to this fret. What is this? 17, 18, 19, 20. 20th fret of the first string. So then we just repeat that whole phrase, but the second time it ends a little differently. Second half of the second time through, start off with this A minor triad, going up to the C major triad, but then kind of playing a root and third of a D, and then going up to a 17th fret to an E. I'm playing 17 of 2, and then grabbing this G sharp. This note's outside of the key. This is where, now we're on that E7 chord. So we're playing the root and a third of an E7 chord. We do that twice. So we're gonna go 19 of 2 to 17 of 1, and then 21 of 2 to 19 of 1. So this uses arpeggiated diatonic triads, and then we're doing a little bit of a major and minor second dissonance. I love these kind of intervals. So that's just a quick example of how we can use diatonic triads to create melodies in our solos. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, but most of all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.